It was supposed to be the rebirth of World War II flight simulation. But in the spring of 2014, the DCS World War II Kickstarter campaign had entered a tailspin. This is the story of a dream that collapsed and the difficult rescue and aftermath that followed. Welcome to Act 3, Death, Rebirth, and Aftermath. By mid-2014, things were grim. The once energetic updates from RRG Studios had slowed to silence. The Spitfire was still unfinished. The map was missing. Only fragments of the original vision had reached playable state. Backers, many of whom had pledged upwards of $100, grew restless, then furious. The forums became battlegrounds. Was it mismanagement? Was it sabotage? Where was the money? Where was Ilya? Eagle Dynamics faced a crossroads. They had not created this Kickstarter. They had not handled the money, but they had allowed it under their brand. And they now had thousands of angry customers associating a failing project with their platform. In May 2014, ED stepped in. Quietly at first, then fully. They assumed control of the project. It wasn't a hostile takeover. It was a rescue effort. Privately, sources say the remaining RRG team agreed it was the only viable way forward. The terms of the takeover were never made fully public. But the facts were clear. ED would take over development of all promised Kickstarter assets. They would commit resources. They would honor the backer pledges. They would absorb the fallout. No additional money was given to ED, but ED invested time, personnel, and budget from their own resources. Developers who had been working on other projects were redirected. Flight models were reassessed. The Normandy map, still in pieces, was rebuilt from the ground up. By late 2014, ED had fully assumed the mantle. RRG Studios disbanded. Ilya Shevchenko vanished from the DCS forums. Some say he returned briefly under another name. Others believe he simply exited the scene, disillusioned. The new ED roadmap was slow but steady. The BF-109K was released in December 2014. The Spitfire Mark IX followed in 2016. The Normandy 1944 map, rebuilt with assistance from Ugra Media, was finally released in May 2017, nearly 4 years after the Kickstarter. And yet, not everything promised was delivered. The AIB-17 was included, but not flyable. The Messerschmitt 262, once teased, was never completed. Certain Kickstarter exclusive rewards, like signed art prints, were quietly dropped. ED implemented a compensation system. Backers received the promised aircraft and map as they released, often before retail buyers. Additional content was added to sweeten the deal, including bonus campaigns and discounts. Most backers were not refunded, but many accepted the results as the best possible outcome under the circumstances. Was it all just a scam from the beginning? That question lingered, but most in the community concluded this was not malice. It was misjudgment. A small team, in their enthusiasm to swing for the fences, had bitten off more than they could chew. The result wasn't fraud. It was a bold, heroic attempt, but ended in disappointing, tragic failure. And ED? Their motives were also debated. Did they plan the takeover all along? Had they intentionally enabled a project they knew couldn't be delivered so they could pick up the pieces cheap? There's zero evidence of that I could find. What is clear is that ED assumed the burden, and over the next 5 years, delivered most of what had been promised, and a little more. By 2020, the DCS World War II offering included multiple full-fidelity warbirds, a polished Normandy map, and dedicated campaigns. But the original dream, a third-party World War II sim built on a DCS platform, that was gone. In the end, there were no villains, only visionaries, engineers, fans, and a tragedy of ambition. The DCS World War II Kickstarter remains a lesson in scale, trust, and accountability. It began with great promise. It ended with a rescue. And in between, the dream of experiencing the thrill of piston engine air combat in the most sophisticated simulator that civilians can buy almost died.